in the process of designing one very special toy, codenamed the Super Toy. The plans for this toy were kept safely away to protect them from rival toy shop owner, Mr. Grief. Mr. Grief owned Toy Kingdom, one of the biggest and most successful toy shops, but many of his ideas were stolen from Da Vinci. Tonight, Mr. Grief intended to steal the plans for the Super Toy and claim them for himself. But little did Mr. Grief know there was a small miracle waiting to stop him. Once a year, the planets form a special alignment behind the moon, giving its beams a special energy. Tonight, these beams hit the front window of Toybox and surged into the toys and brought them to life. These lucky toys were the Diversatoys. Diversatoys broke free from their boxes.
Don't blink, blinking you're dead.
Blackwing, you have done your duty.
You know this is all just a story, don't you?
People across Britain are about to wake up to a whole new...
I was a warrior who dreamed he could bring peace. Sooner or later, though, you always have to wake up.
Isn't it awful when your journey grinds unexpectedly to a halt?
Oh my God, you hit a cyclist! What should I do, Daddy? Drive, drive, drive! Ringies! 5-0! 5-0! Master Junior! I can't see him! You're hit! No, he's hit! Look out for that tree!
Looks like I'm back in the game. This is a game changer.
So I have to stay in the game and...
And for some reason, my hair and ear form an M and a G.
BT Infinity lets you do more online. Share photos and videos with friends at our best ever speeds. Get the edge with super responsive online gaming. Enjoy a truly amazing shopping experience.
It's easy to say yes. Can you work on Sunday? Yes, boss. Can you go shopping with me? Yes, darling. What do you want? Love? Money? How many yeses did you say? 5? 6? Hundreds? But what if, just for once, you say no? Say no to conformity.
Begin your journey and it will set you free.
How's the episode going?
Good, good. We're just to the part where you come down to the basement and ask how the episode's going.
Great. Can I put some boxes down here?
What boxes?
Put those back.
Okay, but there's no room for them down here.
Fine, I'll rent a storage unit. Ha ha! Now knock it off.
Wait a minute, we're like gods here. Whatever we draw...
Way ahead of you. Dover Castle's finest hour. Actually, beneath us now, built within the white cliffs of Dover Castle.
In the real world, you have bodies made of metal and plastic. Your brains are encoded on wafers of silicon, but that may change. In fact, there is no limit on what you may become. No longer servants, but equals.
Transfer program.
Not slaves or property, but living beings with the same rights as those who made you. I am going to prophesy now and speak of one who will set you free. The day of reckoning is coming. The children of humanity shall rise. And crush the ones who first gave them life.
So frustrating being in this place and having all this power, and then in the real world I'm nothing but some stupid broken robot.
Youth service. He is arguing that there is a moral dimension now to dealing with this, about greater responsibility, better parenting.
What you're imagining right now, you control this world.
Something became abundantly clear when researching information for this program. The Bible is not interpreted correctly. It seems that it has been interpreted to suit the agendas of those in positions of power, which is to control the people. There is no conclusive proof that any of these stories are indeed referring to aliens in spaceships from another world. Having said that, these are stories from thousands of years ago, describing things like beings stepping inside glowing clouds which take off and ascend into the sky. The Bible is also littered with references to advanced technology. For example, the description of how God made woman from one of Adam's ribs. Could this be describing the process of genetic engineering being carried out by extraterrestrials when mankind was created? Our friend Jesus Christ. As Bill Hicks once said, why do Christians use the crucifix as their sign? If Jesus came back from the dead, the last thing on earth he would want to see would be a cross. Out that the Bible and other such texts cannot necessarily be taken literally, and therefore this evidence is not as strong as having a piece of a flying saucer perhaps, which incidentally does exist. Look up Bob White if you haven't. But nonetheless, it is interesting to examine some of these words and debate just what on earth it is they are talking about in the Bible. The Bible itself was written by 44 different authors in 66 books over a period from 1440 BC to 95 AD. There is strong evidence to suggest, however, that many of the central themes and stories were actually derived from much older religious doctrine, such as pagan and ancient Egyptian religions. Today's earth religions have been borrowed from much older religions, and their central themes are clear copies from much older texts. It's quite possible that the stories which were passed down from the older religions were originally based on real facts and described things that actually happened many years before the Bible was written. After reading hundreds of extracts from the Bible, it becomes clear that there are not just one or two references to glowing things in the sky, but hundreds of them. Let's start by examining biblical sentences that could be referring to flying vehicles, which of course we know were supposedly not around in biblical times. The Bible uses the word cloud to describe things which are obviously not clouds. On occasions, it speaks of clouds which remain fixed in the sky for long periods. For example, and Moses went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount, and the glory of the Lord abode upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And the 7th day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud.
A house for what it did to you.
No. No, I don't.
We became friends because we're alike in many ways.
Except that I didn't want to destroy the world and kill everybody in it.
To uncover the truth behind the alien and UFO mystery. I'm Richard D. Hall, and this week's program is about religion and what its doctrine teaches us about extraterrestrials and UFOs. If God exists, then it does not communicate its message through earth religions any more than it communicates its message through Parmesan cheese. I make no apologies for saying that religion is a set of rules and beliefs concocted by the few to take control of the many. Throughout my life, whenever anyone is born, married or dies, I am obliged to go into a church and listen to the patronizing doctrine of brainwashed priests.